All right, guys. Got a little personal thing that I want to throw out there. Um, a long, 18-year-long issue has some resolution at this point. Um, Most everybody doesn't know that I have had Barrett's esophagus for basically the last 18, 19 years. Um, Chalk it up to acid reflux, high anxiety, stress. At the time it was diagnosed, I thought I was having a heart attack. The oldest bug, she was 2 weeks old, screaming her head off because she was a colic baby. And I literally thought I was having a heart attack. I had pressure, pain shooting down, tingling in the jaw. And it took the docs a little while to figure out that I was having esophageal spasms. That basically induced a panic attack, and all of that just became reciprocal and all this and that. Well, apparently the nerve endings and all that for the esophagus is in the same kind of cluster for the heart, so you get the same kind of pain. Don't take it lightly if you end up getting something like that. Go get it checked out, because I'd run to the emergency room every time something like that happened, and just to find out whether I was having a heart attack or not, which it wasn't. But at that time, once they started narrowing it down and getting an idea of what was going on, found bleeding, ulcers, all this and that. And found out the hard way that I do not deal with anesthesia well. Now, this is the 18-year-old problem. Whenever they put me under for doing a endoscope, where they go down and check your stomach and esophagus and all that, I would come up raging. Name, rank, serial number. I was not there. I was on complete autopilot, and I have not remembered anything from these sessions until the next day. And that was a problem, because besides raging, trying to destroy things, when I had my gallbladder took out, they kept putting me under. It took them 4 hours to finally get me out of anesthesia because they didn't know what to do with me. And that's when I got my little anesthesia warning card. And I was getting free from the restraints on the bed, and they had extra sheets and all tied down to me, and it wasn't good. The last thing I want to do is hurt someone. And, God forbid somebody, security put a bullet in me. I mean, I had one where I was trying to headbutt my way out of a third-story window. The previous time, I actually got loose in the hospital. Apparently I had things that I picked up. I was using them as weapons. Grunting, growling, full feral. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. And security had to chase me down in the hospital and get me secured. So, to me, that's scary. Now, those that don't know what Barrett's esophagus is, it is precancerous. Basically, the lining of your esophagus has started to change to stomach lining. Therefore, there's a cellular change, and that makes it high potential for a cancer situation. So, it's an issue, and with the wife's family, they have a lot of cancer issues going on. So it's kind of high on her list of things to take care of. So I was just at my wit's end. My gastroenterologist, he passed away 2 years ago in a car crash, which really sucked, because he had been the one taking care of me all these years and making sure things were going right, and trying to work with the anesthesiologist who didn't even listen to him, which is not good. And I was done. I was fine. It's like, okay, cool. Stomach cancer gets me. It's going to be something. All the chemicals and everything I was exposed to in the military working on aircraft. All right, cool. Cancer's going to get me. I'll die from stomach cancer. It's okay. And I was fine with that. But because the wife and the kids really wanted me to get it checked out, I talked to the VA, see if they knew somebody that could deal with me. And they ended up sending me up here to Erlanger, up in Chattanooga. And the first appointment I was going to for a scope, I walked in the door. It's like, I need to talk to the anesthesiologist. It determines whether I walk out of here or not. Because we've dealt with people like you before. Yeah, no, I don't like that kind of attitude, because that's what gets people hurt. It's lackadaisical. And the anesthesiologist sat down with us. Dr. Smith. Don't remember what his first name was. But he read through the reports, and he's like, yeah, no, we're not doing this today. And he ended up getting a plan together. And unfortunately, he wasn't there when I had my scope last Friday. He had passed it off to somebody else. He's basically in retirement mode. And again, we walk in the door, I need to talk to the anesthesiologist. Don't remember his name, but he came out, he talked to us. He gave me all the right kind of answers, even though I'm still like, And he had a plan. Changing the dosage, changing the drugs that they give me. And we went ahead and did it. For the first time in all these years that I've been getting these endoscopes, I woke up like I'd just been napping on the couch. No rage, no screaming, no hollering, no name, rank, serial number. And the whole point of me telling you about this today is, don't take no for an answer. Never take no for an answer. If it bothers you, ask the questions. If they're not giving you the right kind of answers, find somebody who will. Or find somebody who will actually discuss it instead of, I know more than you. And that's fine. Great. Doctors go to school for this stuff. But if they blow you off, and, unfortunately my wife's dealt with this. Doctors blew her off on a lot of things. And from the way I get told, a lot of doctors blow women off, period. Like, this is what you need, and, they just write a script and all this and that. Well, I call bullshit. Talk to them. Find one of these providers that will actually listen to you, discuss these items with you, and actually run it to ground and figure out what's going on. So, luckily I had a good scope. There is no sign of the Barrett's esophagus at this point. There are no ulcers. So that's good. Wind therapy, out here turning wrenches, playing in the garden, things like that. It's good for your soul. It's good for your body. When you get stressed out too much, it will manifest itself physically. So don't take no for an answer. Don't just take it with a grain of salt. Because a lot of doctors, they just like to push pills. And that's no bueno in my book. But yeah. Y'all take it easy. Keep riding. Keep writing. And see y'all on the flip side.